Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's Luke here with Paul. Well, mate, 7 weeks away, and nothing's changed, mate.
Been good, isn't it? That last 6 weeks was good. It was nice. Yeah, it was. Can we have another 6 week break, please?
Yeah. I'm gonna flash this up first, and anyone in the chat who is still Moyes in, please give me and Paul some reasons, because 16th, played 16, 14 points, won 4, drawn 2, lost 10. And one more, mate, just before you jump in. Anyone wants to argue about form and that, it's just a blip? There's a lot of red there, mate, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, it's poor. It's poor, Obviously, that's going back for the last calendar year. We've been awful. We've played 16 games. We've lost 10. That's the highest amount of losses in the league, joint with Southampton, who are bottom. There's in the next 3 games. After the next 3 games, we would have played everyone in the league, and there's a good chance that we'll lose the next 3 games as well. So we would have played everyone in the league. We would have played 19 teams and lost 13. That is horrific. No manager survives that. No manager survives that. It's you tell me, right? What other manager? What other team? Right? What other team in the Premier League? What other team in the world? What other team in world football would get to a European semi-final, spend £150 million in the summer, and not sack their manager after this run of results? Tell me, what other club in the world?
Chelsea, Chelsea have sacked their manager this year. Wolves have sacked their manager. Villa have sacked Stevie G. And I don't believe it'll be too long before Frank Lampard goes at Everton. Why do we dilly-dally all the time? There are 2 managers out there. Whether we've sanded them out or not in Tuchel and Poch, whether they would come is another story. But I hate this talk whenever people go, yeah, but who? Who's better than Moyes? That doesn't mean you keep him. The guy clearly can't change. Like you say, mate, 7 weeks, same lineup, same tactics, same like-for-like substitutions. I don't know, mate. I'm done. I know
exactly.
A long time ago, but
like you say, mate, that argument. Oh, who's better? Who replaces him? All right, then, fair enough. Anyone who says that, fair enough. Well, why don't we just give Moyes a contract for life? Give him a contract for life, because apparently there are no other managers in the entire world that would actually come to manage West Ham that are better than David Moyes. Apparently, yeah. So give him a contract for life. It's like Antonio, best striker in the world. No one can replace him. All right, fair enough. I hate that attitude, that defeatist mentality. Yeah. Well, but yeah, mate, so poor, mate. So poor.
I should have got the picture that you sent me earlier. Actually, I should have put that up. That you, the attacking threat against Arsenal was literally nothing, was it? It was nothing at all.
It was literally nothing, mate. I don't know if I can find it now, just so I can just quick. There it is.
I haven't got it. Right. I haven't got it, sir.
I don't know, even though.
I'll let you go full screen, mate. Wait, let me let you go full screen. Oh no,
wrong one.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have to do it. Go on, I'll just let you do it. Go on your.
Yeah, this might you might not be able to see this because of reflections and that, but basically you get the idea. Attacking threat, basically none. And I have to say, I thought
first half weren't too bad.
First half weren't too bad. I thought if we want to look at positives, I think Bowen looked better than he has done for a long time in the first half. Rice made some really good covering back tackles. He was covering for Cresswell, who was getting absolutely rinsed every time by Saka. But Rice was covering quite well. Dawson, I thought, was playing quite well. And first, I have to say, though, I did forget. So, I thought first half we played away. And I've seen a lot of people saying that. I've seen a lot of people saying, yeah, first half we played away. Let's not forget, we did actually concede inside 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was ruled off for a very lucky offside.
Yeah.
Fabianski beat at his near post, and then obviously later on the goal stood and he was beat at his near post again. But even though I thought we looked better in the first half, we never threatened them. We never looked like doing anything. Anytime we did get the ball forward, it was either Antonio or Bowen on their own running up and then we managed to get a penalty. It was a penalty, but it was a bit lucky. Benrahma put the penalty away quite well.
Lucky. I will say that their equaliser was a little bit lucky.
It was.
Fluky shot. Don't know. It was a good finish from Saka, but
yeah, but then that was it. As soon as they equalised, we gave up. We completely gave up. As soon as they equalised, that was it. Done. Completely gave up. And it was 70. We were 3-1 down in the second half. Arsenal come out and scored 3 goals in the first 20 minutes or something of the second half, and we did nothing. Moyes just sat there and went, "Yeah, this is good. This is going well. This is good. This is what we wanted. This is going well." No, we didn't change anything until like 77, 78 minutes in, and then he brought on 4 nils. Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
He brought Young Boy on for a few minutes. Do you know what I mean?
For like 4 minutes at the end of the game. What other manager concedes 3 goals in 20 minutes and changes nothing?
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing at all, mate. Nothing at all. And as well, with Benrahma, I know that he had a decent game, but he did that one thing in the first half. I think he try and do like a nutmeg or a step over and he'd give the ball away.
That was in the second half. He gave the ball away in our own area.
Yeah, and that Moyes will just completely dig him out over that one thing.
He did dig him out in the press conference. He did dig him out. But I mean, to be honest with you, Benrahma scored the penalty, but he didn't do anything apart from that.
Yeah, like I said, I missed the second half. To be honest with you, I caught the first half.
It was awful, mate. Awful. We did absolutely nothing. Arsenal were walking through us in the second half.
They were good, though. They are a good side, Arsenal, though.
They are a good side, but they're a good side. But they didn't even have to try. Yeah. They didn't have to try it. As soon as they got that equaliser, we just gave up, and they walked through us. We did nothing. We offered nothing. We had no attacking threat whatsoever.
Was bad as well. I've seen the highlights now. The way he got twisted for that goal was ridiculous.
I actually thought he was all right. Apart from that was obviously really bad. That goal, Kera got spun ridiculously bad.
I don't think Rice played well either, mate. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Rice played well.
Again, first half, I think first half Rice played all right. But then again, as soon as things started going wrong, he was throwing his hands up in the air. He wasn't releasing the ball. He looks like he's come back from the World Cup. He doesn't want to be here. He does not want to be at West Ham anymore. He wants to go. Cresswell was destroyed.
What about Paqueta? What do you make of him? He not give the ball away a lot.
But he was the only player actually making forward passes. So of course he gave the ball away. But he was the only one actually making forward passes. I'm not going to slag Paqueta off because I think he did all right. Like I say, Cresswell got absolutely rinsed. Soufal did all right. I actually think Soufal did all right. Dawson did all right. Souček, was he even playing? What was Souček playing? I don't know. I didn't see him. Antonio can't run anymore. He can't shoot. He can't control football. I think Bowen was better in the first half. Second half disappeared. Don't know where he went in the second half. Completely and utterly anonymous. It was awful. Absolutely awful. And I know people say, "Oh, but it was Arsenal. Arsenal are the best team in the league. They're going to win the league." We've lost 10 games. Don't give me.
What was that? Was that 71 games yesterday as well? Away to top 4, top 6 opposition in his career.
Yeah. But it's not like we can't even beat the teams around us.
Not to have even got one away win in your whole career. Do you not question that? Does he not think, well, I'm not doing something right here? It's been 70 odd games.
He don't. And that's obviously the problem. He don't know how to change. And he never will. He never will. Yeah. He's done. He's done.
With Fab, mate.
Shocking.
He's got to be dropped now, hasn't he? He's got to be.
He should have been dropped at the start of the season. He should have, as soon as Areola signed that contract, he should have been number 1.
Yeah. How many times?
How many mistakes does Fabianski need to make? How many mistakes? And this is the problem. Again, it doesn't matter. You're playing bad, doesn't matter. Conceding goals, doesn't matter. You'll play. He'll be playing on Friday. Souček, completely anonymous, done nothing for the last year. He'll be playing.
Yeah.
You can't get dropped. Like Moyes has got his favourites and he plays them no matter what.
Yeah.
The last 6 weeks, mate, the World Cup was great.
I know, I've enjoyed the last 6 weeks, mate.
Didn't think about West Ham, didn't worry about West Ham, and then we come back, and I didn't expect anything.
The problem was as well, mate, when we went 1-0 up, it was like a false hope. It was like, oh, actually, is this going to be one of the typical West Ham ones?
I didn't think, the way that we played. I had no doubt that even when we scored, it was a matter of time. It was a matter of time, because it always is. We didn't try and take the game to them. We scored. We got the advantage. We didn't even try and counter them when they were attacking us. They're throwing players forward, and we had Antonio on his own with no one anywhere near him trying to do something. It's so and nothing will change this week. Nothing will change.
We literally. I know you texted it to me last night, mate. We don't know what to do with a football. We are the worst football team in the league. We are, without a doubt. We don't run. We can't pass. Like they say when you hear in commentary, like teams are doing a phase of play. Like it looks like you're doing patterns of play. At no point when watching West Ham over the last sort of, like you say, mate, 20, 25 games, do I think, I can see what we're trying to do here. Well, we know what we're trying to do, but it doesn't work. And there's no other pattern of play. It's the boom to Bowen, try and cross. Boom to Benrahma.
That is it. All we can play, all we do is a long ball down the wing. Hope Bowen can somehow get onto it, or hope Benrahma can do some magic, and then cross it in the box to nobody. It's pathetic. Yep. Like we can't play football. If we are one of those teams where if you didn't support West Ham and West Ham was on telly, you go, I ain't watching that.
100%, mate. 100%. It's like say, mate, like the old West Brom days, and it's like, I ain't watching it. It's not entertaining. Where we used to be that team. We used to be a team that prided itself on being everyone's second club up until like the Tevez era. I'm going to go in the comments in a minute, guys. I just want to talk about this very, very quickly. Just bear with me. Right, mate. This does not look pretty at the moment. Currently on 14 points there. We could and probably will be, mate, by this time next week in that bottom three, mate. And do you think that will be it? Do you think that could be the final bullet on Friday if we were to lose on Friday? I think it might be. I think Friday could be the bullet. Yeah,
I think so. I think a bad defeat, and I can't see anything else, to be honest with you. You see the way Brentford played against Tottenham, they'll tear us apart. They will tear us apart.
Mate, Ivan Toney's going to rip us a new one.
Yeah, and I think that will be it. And I said this during the World Cup. We have just wasted. By then, that will be 7-8 weeks wasted. We knew
we could have got a new manager in to be putting their ideas in place, identifying targets.
Nothing was going to change. We should have sacked him before the World Cup. Before the World Cup, we should have sacked him. We lost 4 games in a row, including one against Blackburn. Yeah. We lost 4 games in a row. So they should have pulled the trigger. They should have said, "See you later." Got somebody new in. Had the World Cup break. Coming in, planning for January. Perfect time to do it. What did they? What did they think was going to happen? Did they really think we were going to come back and all of a sudden things are going to be different? What did we do? Yeah. We had 4 players away at the World Cup. 4. What did the rest of the squad do during that time? Because to me, it don't look like they did anything.
No. And in pre-season, we didn't look great. Well, I said pre-season, but you know what I mean by that sort of mini-friendly thing. I don't know, mate. You see, the problem is, look, I don't want West Ham to lose. Nobody wants West Ham to lose. But the problem is, if we were to get a result on Friday, and then, we beat Brentford, for example, then you go and lose to Leeds, and then you go on another little bad run, how many more times is he going to give it? 3 games, 2 games? And then before you know it, we're out of games. There's 4, 5, 6 games left, and we're in the relegation zone, and we ain't getting out of it. It's early enough in the season to change it, to get a bit of a new manager bounce, to get some new ideas. January transfer windows literally next week. I don't know, mate. I don't know.
They should have done it before the World Cup, mate. They're not going to sack him after losing to Arsenal. But I definitely, like you say, mate, I think if we lose on Friday, then I think that'll be it. And I hope it is, mate. I hope it is, because it's not going to change.
Go in the comments. We'll talk about... Oh, I'm back. Yeah. Am I there?
You're there, but you're very delayed.
Oh, okay. Bear with me. There we go. Be back, yeah?
Yep. And you're gone. Oh, and we've switched sides.
Hello. Guys, can you still
This
see
freaks
us
me out.
on the videos? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right, listen, in the comments, someone in the comments, can you let us know who's going wrong here? Is it me or Luke? Let us know, please, because we can't tell.
Yeah, my internet does that. Yeah, I know. I don't know who's who. Right. Craven Moorhead says, you can see that the players are now down in tools. Moyes was on Benrahma's case yet again, even though Rice was at fault. His man management skills are appalling. Paqueta went straight down the tunnel. And it wouldn't surprise me if that man is looking for a move and talking to his agent. Us under Ashley would still keep Bruce after the form you are currently in. Obviously, that's a Newcastle fan. Short term, Sean Dyche would do all right. Do you know the one I'm more scared about, mate? We will we'll jump in and out of the comments. Is Roberto Martinez? I do not want that man at West Ham. I don't want it. I don't. What about you?
No, and I think, and I understand why. It's because of the history of the owners, but again, it's so. To me, it's so defeatist. It's so resigned to being rubbish all the time.
Always taking a manager out of work.
But why? Yeah,
and
why
is it
it's always the same names that come up: Sean Dyche, Martinez, Rafa Benitez. Yeah. Think outside the box. You know, there are only 5 managers in the world.
Yeah. Well, it's cheap, mate. That's all it ever is. It's cheap. That's what I see.
The only thing that I'm hoping, mate. The only thing that I'm hoping is that Kretinsky obviously is now part of the club. He's on the board. He's got his money in, and I'm hoping that that means that the next time it comes, we're not restricted by that Sullivan mentality. Maybe we will push the boat out, get someone a bit different. That's the only thing I'm hoping. That's the only thing I'm hoping.
Would you take Scott Parker? I know he was there last night.
No, I wouldn't. No, I'll take. Do you know what? I'd take him maybe as an interim to the end of the season.
Because he didn't do much wrong at Bournemouth, to be fair. With him, like I say, the main reason he was sacked is because he called the ball out, didn't he? Like, look, I need more. We're not going to survive on this budget. But then Gary O'Neill sort of turned it around as soon as he got the job, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, no, personally, no. I think we should be aiming higher than that.
Steven Gerrard? Another one out of work.
Gerrard, I think Gerrard is the man to take us forward into that next level? No, but I said this last time. At least he would have the respect to the players. At least he would have that. He would have the respect to the players. The man's a serial winner. I would take Gerrard. I would take him. I think he'd be better than Moyes. I think he'd have the respect to the players. Do I think he's going to take us to that next level? Probably not. But he's got to be better than where we are now.
Yeah. Who do you actually think it will be, though? And I do think it will be Sean Dyche. I'm going to be honest with you. I do. I think if he goes, it's Sean Dyche coming in.
I reckon it'd be Warburton, to be honest. I reckon he'd take over. And then until the end of the season. And then maybe Sullivan sells up, new owner comes in, puts his own man in, maybe. But I don't know, mate. I don't know. Like I say, I don't want it to be one of these names that we've seen so many times. Think outside the box.
Yeah. I wouldn't want an Italian manager coming in, I'll be honest with you. Like someone a little bit of steel. I know we've only ever had one Italian manager and that didn't quite work out. But, I'm talking big boy, one of the big boys. Like I say, Mancini constantly linked with the club. I'd be happy with that. I would. He has to go. Act now. Still say a class manager will make a world of difference, and we will end up with Dyche. Happy New Year to you all, Steve. Yeah, I don't know how happy I'm going to be if Sean Dyche walks through the door and we buy Chris Woods from Newcastle. And we end up doing that. The only worry if Moyes goes is Warburton is 99% to be in charge for the remainder of the season. How uninspiring for Scamacca, Rice and Paqueta. Yeah,
that's what I said last week. That's for me. That's the thing. It's all right having that level of manager, that caliber of manager, and I include David Moyes in that. When you're managing, those sort of scrappy players coming up from the Championship, your Antonios, your Bowens, your Cresswells. It's all right having that level of manager. But when you want to take that next step, and you're buying world-class players. And I'm not saying all our players, these players are world-class, but you're buying that higher caliber players. You're buying your Skamacas, your Paquetas. They need a manager
with a mentality of winning.
Yeah, with a winning mentality.
Positive.
They need a manager they can respect. They need a manager that's won things. If when you go into your job at work, if your manager has done nothing, your manager's got no record. He's a mere and he starts getting on your back. You've got some amazing track record. You've got a better record than your manager, and he's telling you what to do. What do you do? You look at him and think, mate, what do you know? What are you talking about?
And especially, mate, when it's okay whilst it's working. Like, when we was getting to semi-final of the Europa League last year, as soon as that stops working, mate, like you say, all of a sudden those question marks start coming and they get worse and worse and worse. And the players just think, what's this geezer talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, you got David Moyes telling Paqueta, who's just been at the World Cup with Brazil. You got Declan Rice, who's supposed to be one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. You got Scamacca, who's the future of the Italian football team. They've got David Moyes telling them what to do. They're going to be looking at him thinking, "Who are you? Who are you?" Yeah. Like that's the problem. If we want to take that next step, we need the manager that the players are going to respect, and that's what I say about Gerrard. That's what I say about Gerrard. He hasn't. He did well in Scotland, but he hasn't got a huge, amazing record as a manager. But at least he's got that as a player, that the players are going to respect him. Do you know what I mean?
We need to go, I'm not saying he would have come to us at all at the time, but, our Spurs have gone and got Conte in. Just he's a winner, mate. He demands the best. He hasn't quite worked for him at Tottenham yet, but he demands, do you know what I mean? And he gets on the board's back no, you go and get me these players or I'm going to walk. I'm going to go. Not a yes man. Another one I've got fear of, mate, he's staying with England now, thankfully, is that Southgate would have been walking through that door if he would have left England. Yeah. Matt Roney says, Souček needs to be dropped for Paqueta to be our new centre midfielder. I wouldn't say drop for Paqueta, I would say drop for probably Downs or someone like that. Paqueta can play in his normal position.
The second half, when Souček did go off, Paqueta played next to Rice with 4 nails in front. And I think that's, why are we not doing that? The entire world just watched Paqueta play as a central midfielder for Brazil and do brilliant. Yeah. Did Moyes not watch that? Did he? Why? How come last night he was still playing him as a number 10?
Yeah. This is all down to the board for not doing the right thing. They need stick as well now.
See, I'll tell you what, Gary, right? We just watch our videos, mate. We can't. There's no one who hates the ball more than us, right? I can't stand Sullivan, hate him. Can't wait till he's gone. Sullivan, Gold, Brady, get rid of him. I've done plenty of rants on this channel about Karen Brady before. Hate him, can't stand them, and they've had all the stick. But realistically, you can't put where we are today, right now, down to them. This is on the manager and it's on the players.
If anything, they put their money where their mouth is. They bought the players. If anything, if they wanted to get some credit in the bank, they would have sacked him 5-6 weeks ago. I think, and you would have gone, yeah, okay, they've done the right thing there. But all of this at the moment, the way we're playing, that lack of identity again, is Moyes. It's down to Moyes, mate. On the radio this morning, I was talking about what's gone wrong with West Ham. We don't take a good set piece anymore. No. We don't hit teams on the counter anymore.
What do we do anymore?
What do we do anymore? Yeah.
That's the thing. I saw someone saying that yesterday. We've got no identity. We're not an attacking team. We're not a counter-attacking team. We're not solid at the back. We're not a nasty team. We're not a young team. We're not a flair team. What are we? We're nothing. We are the worst team in the league. Yes.
Are we the worst team in the league?
I think so, yeah. Maybe if you want to say we're not the worst quality team in the league, but we are by a mile the worst team to watch in the league. By an absolute mile. And, we've been saying it for months. We are by a mile the worst footballing team in the league. We're one of the worst footballing teams I've ever seen. Genuinely. Right now, we are one of the worst footballing teams I've ever seen.
We went to, what was it? The Danish club. Mate, they passed us off the park. Do you know what I mean? We're a Premier League team. We should be, when like a really good Premier League team comes up against an FA Cup team, or even like like Soccer Aid, where you get the pros that can really pass it around nice. Mate, I've never seen us do that to a team. Never. Maybe the Canio era, but
mate, that's it. Was it Arsenal's third goal last night? Beautiful goal.
Yeah.
And when Kehrer got spun, that was a fantastic goal. The movement, the passing. We will never. I said this in our chat last night. We
not
will
under Moyes,
never score a goal like that under David Moyes. We will never score a goal. We do not know. We don't know how to pass the ball. We don't know how to move. We don't play in triangles.
Yeah,
it's as if
we've press.
It's as if we've got one player on the ball and then 10 players just sort of stand there and watch them.
The biggest thing about modern football, mate, we always say it, don't we, on this channel, is pressing, and we do not press. So I've just lost where I am in the comments here, guys. I am gonna just need to find it. It was Gary, wasn't it? Yeah, here we go. Right, so Liam, I will put that super chat up in a minute, mate. Just bear with me. My club, for example, my Newcastle, for example, the most of the players are still players that are here under Brucey, and second, can't see why a new manager can't do. I agree, mate.
Yeah,
I was talking about Newcastle on TalkSport. What Eddie Howe has done with Joe Linton, Miguel Almiron, and players like that. Mate, Miguel Almiron's playing like Lionel Messi. He's just ridiculous at the minute. And you know what it is about your team, mate, that I admire at the minute? It's positive. You go at teams. You go, no, do you know what? Teams are going to change it for us. We're not going to change for no one. And that's what I don't like about Moyes. It's always, how can we stop? And we know that, me and Paul talk about it every week. How can we stop rather than, how can we beat? That's again, mate, that's a world-class manager difference for me. No?
Yeah, of course it is.
Negative.
Of course it is. And that attitude seeps through into the players, It does.
Lego head. I thought you were talking about me then. It's turning into a horrible manager. The decision to overturn the penalty for Cresswell's handball / face.
Yeah, Arteta's a nasty, horrible cheat.
But again, mate, that's a good manager, mate. I don't mind it, mate. I like seeing that. As much as Argentina, mate, if actually West Ham played like Argentina with that nastiness, that horrible gamesmanship, like you said, at least we could say we had an identity. I wasn't even impressed with Arsenal. It was more to do with how poor we was. It will be a big test after the new year. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I think we made it easy for them. It was like at points in that game, it was like a training session.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was. They didn't get out of second gear.
No. West Ham remind me of England. Yep. How many times did me and Paul say that, mate? You should watch the channel every week. Me and Paul probably say that every week. Been saying it. Been saying that for a long time. So your comment on someone. Dan Bowden says, "Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone who's watching did have a good Christmas, and a happy New Year. It's a shame about yesterday.
Everton play Man City, by the way, guys. Can't see Everton beating Man City. Yeah, like I say, I think Man City beat Everton. I believe it's today, and I think Frank's only got one more game left as well. It could be two managers' casualties this weekend, and again, I think it's the one who falls into that bottom three this weekend. Which again, me and Paul will have a little talk about Brentford in a minute. I bet all the other 19 teams go into training and pull out the same set of notes on tactics. When they play us, they know exactly how we're going to set up and what we're going to do. Yep. Most predictable lineup, most predictable setup. We've got Everton soon. I think that game we'll see who struggled more out of us. Everton both are in the doghouse. The thing is, if Everton have changed their manager by then and we haven't, they will have a new manager bounce and probably beat us. We've not got a good record against them anyway. We need to bring Brentford to start picking up points. Would you take a defeat if it meant he went? Oh,
that'd be the positive of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I never want to see West Ham lose it because again, if we do lose, we'll be in the bottom three. But I do want him gone. I do. Kent Emma, Moyes' latest 23 games, 19 points, 20 goals scored, 31 conceded, wins against Norwich, Villa, Wolves, Fulham, Bournemouth. Moyes out before he takes us down. Yes, I agree, mate. I totally agree with you. Any news on Cornet? No. We could do with him back though. Just a bit of pace. Cornet, it comes out that he won't play unless he's 100% fit. Peter says Luke.
This is when I was asking who was going wrong. So there you go.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Sort your internet out, mate.
Yeah, I know. Terrible internet. Pay enough for it. Cornet, it's come out that he won't play unless he's 100% fit. Dyche has said he was not happy with him on many a times he didn't play for Burnley. Bournemouth improved after Parker was sacked. They did. Lampard for manager. Yeah, I bet that would go down really, really well. I was at the game last night. The vast majority of the fans have had enough of Kretinsky. Might have the money, but I don't think he will buy us full time. I don't think he's going to buy us either. I don't. It's longer. Sorry, the longer it goes on, it will become more harder to get a decent manager. It will, mate.
Yeah, we should have pulled the trigger before the World Cup. We should have done.
If we go 1 or 2-0 down, the crowd should just walk down. Here we go. Matt Rainey, thank you for your super chat.
Cheers, Matt.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Off to get some pie mash. You lads have been super this year. Cheers for the amount of content. Nobes hoping for good things. Yeah,
thanks, Matt. Appreciate that, mate.
Yeah, I don't think he's still there, but yeah, I do appreciate it. Yeah, obviously Noble does come in, mate, in the next couple of weeks. Will he be bloody manager? That's one for you. Another 6 or 7 players out of contract in the summer. They are going to have to be replaced. Yeah. Sorry, I skipped Paul Sullivan's comment there. Slow, boring football. Do you think it's down to Nevin Nolan and McKinley also? Hardly top quality coaches, are they? Yeah, well, we know we've lost some big characters. We have.
Yeah, you know, and again, we've been saying this for months. There is clearly something very wrong behind the scenes. Clearly something has gone wrong behind the scenes. You know, we were talking last year about having a real good backroom team. You know, like the last 2 years, we were saying we were praising how good they were.
Leaders.
Yeah, you know, and then obviously we lost Pierce, we lost Irvine. Yeah. And I think that that's made them a huge difference. Noble obviously leaving. I do think it's made a massive difference. But yeah, something's very, very wrong behind the scenes.
Yeah. Surely the board look at the game and think this is bad football. Sticking with underperforming player is ridiculous. His management is a joke. Bunny is an easy target. Cornet is with Lord Luke. If you go down, I fear what happens to West Ham. Don't know what to think. I'll tell you what, mate. It's going to be absolute disaster if West Ham go down. You end up losing Declan Rice for, 40 million, 35, 40 million. You know, other players will leave as well. Players like Bowen. Bowen looks like he's got an ego. He'll go. Skamaka will go. Paqueta will go. And then, what do you reckon, mate? 30,000 in that stadium? 27,000?
It will be horrific. Horrific.
Yeah. Peter says, on a serious note, where do we go from here?
To the Championship.
Need to start bloody winning games, mate. That's what we need to bloody do. Need to start. Just someone with new ideas. And again, I do think it might come quicker than we think. I can't see any way that he gets a result on Friday. But as soon as I finish these last few comments, me and Paul will have a little chat about that. What's the best meat for a roast? Lamb for me. Get these questions in as well, guys, so we can have a bit of fun.
Lamb roast is a good shout, mate. It's a good shout. I like a lamb.
Well, I was quite lucky this year. Me, my sister, and my dad all went free meat. So I got gammon. My sister got the turkey, and my dad got the lamb. So that was a bit like bloody Toby Carvery. It's very lovely. I do love gammon. I do love gammon. Gammon is lovely. What about you, mate? I know you had ham, didn't you?
I do like ham. Yeah, gammon. I'm not too keen on gammon, to be honest. But yeah, nice ham cooked in Coke.
Yeah, that's what I did my gammon in Coke. Yeah.
Nice glaze.
Yeah. Do love a turkey sandwich though. Turkey sandwich and sour cream Pringles.
Oh, you can't see that turkey and ham sandwich after. Yeah.
As you want Moyes out because of the form, people will say, look at Leicester. Look at the start Leicester had, and look at their form before they were defeated against us, which is obviously Newcastle yesterday. It's a fair point, mate. It is a fair point, but at least with Brendan Rodgers, he's a positive manager.
Yeah, mate, I was saying,
and he's won something. He's won the FA Cup, Brendan. Do you know what I mean?
When Leicester were in that run of bad form, mate, I was on here saying I would take him. I was on here saying if they sack Rodgers, I would have him at West Ham. Absolutely.
I think with Leicester as well, I think they lost a few characters. Schmeichel was a big one. Schmeichel was a big one that they lost, and Leicester seem to have a hell of a lot of bad luck with injuries at times.
Yeah.
Like Pereira's and Sionju's and people like that. And obviously they lost Fofana in the summer as well. So they always seem to have that little bit where they have to catch up again a little bit. And they had the thing with Maddison. I think Maddison was close to joining Newcastle, if I believe. And then always takes them a little bit of time to get that back.
Yeah, and I think even when they were in that bad run of form, they were still playing decent football. You could still see what they were trying to do.
Yeah, no point have we played decent football this year.
That's the problem with West Ham. Like I say, at least when they were on that bad run, you could see what he was trying to do. You could see what Rodgers was aiming for. Whereas when you look at West Ham, I can't see anything. I can't see what we're trying to do. That's the difference.
Well, we've got about 35 people in the chat. If you could do us a favour and hit the like button right now, guys, it would be very kind of you. We can end up like Leeds if we got relegated. We would lose half our squad and financial implications could ruin us. Yeah, I agree, mate. I totally agree. I hope that's not the case. Hope we've got enough to just get out of it, but at the moment it's not looking good. I'll still look like Brazil for the 70 World Cup against us. Take Rice out of our side and we would be relegated. The problem is with Dex, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a bit bitter because I know he's going. Is Dex really winning games? Is he really, again, and this makes me question that 100 million price tag. Is he a 100 million player that really gets games going, scruff of the neck, and can make a change in the game?
He has been, but right now, it's clear that he wants to leave. It's clear that he wants out. He doesn't see his future at West Ham. We'll know this, but now after coming back from the World Cup, I think it's even cemented it even more. And I don't think he hasn't been great recently. He hasn't. He's still been one of our best players this season.
Yeah,
he has still been one of our best players this season. But I mean, take Rice outside, we'll be relegated, mate. It looks like we're going to get relegated with him in the side.
Yeah. Flashes of Di Canio, Joe Cole, Trevor Sinclair, mate. Next season, West Ham, Millwall. We got 30k last time we got relegated. Yeah, but it was Upton Park.
That was at the Bowling.
That was Upton Park, mate. Do you know what I mean? And again, that's 30k and it's full. 30k in a London stadium is going to half look empty. It's going to look awful. Sound awful, everything. Tro says Turkey's rank. No, Turkey's not.
Do you know what, though? Do you know what, mate? I don't think Turkey's ranked, but it's the worst meat. You only
it's dry.
Turkey.
It's very dry.
Too dry. It's too dry. You only eat turkey at Christmas. If turkey was that good, you'd eat it all year, but you don't, do you? No, I'm with you there. Lamb for the win. Yeah, I do like
lamb. It's lovely. Minted lambs. Love.
Getting hungry now. Is it lunchtime?
Pat Nevin is an England coach, a really good coach. Moyes is 20th century manager in the 21st century. 6-7 players out of contract, helps with championship rebuild, 20-25k max in the stadium. Yeah. Veggie paella for Christmas for us. 25 degrees all over Christmas. Only last night mugged off my Christmas.
Beautiful, lovely. Mate. Lovely.
The crowds won't collapse down to the 25k mark. Absolutely no chance. We'll wait and see, mate. I'll tell you what, I'd be very surprised if you get more than 30, 35 over there, purely because at the moment you've got, I do believe there's like a touristy sort of fan that they're West Ham fans, but they go purely because, it's cheap Premier League football. No, is that?
No, I agree. I agree completely, mate. Yeah, I think a lot of the fans who were regulars at the Bowling stopped going when we moved to the new stadium. I absolutely think that. Oh, my focus went there. I absolutely think that a large majority of the crowd not a large majority, but a large portion of the crowd are made up of, like you say, mate, tourists. You get a lot of neutrals.
Yeah. Because
Which
cheap
I think,
football, you know,
yeah,
300 quid to
you know,
watch Premier League.
you lose all of them. Maybe 25's a bit low, you know, but I could definitely see 30k. And you know, you're talking a 65,000 seater stadium.
Yeah.
That's abysmal.
It is. The loss of players, if we go down, would ruin us. Could even go down again after that. Wouldn't even want to imagine that. Wouldn't miss the Prem too much. Get to go some old-fashioned football grounds with a soul. No, mate, I do not want that. I don't want that at all. Would you accept relegation and winning the Conference Cup? No, I wouldn't. What about you, mate?
I mean, it wouldn't happen anyway, because if it looked like we were going to get relegated, we'd
We
throw
would
the
give
cup.
up, yeah.
Yeah, we'd throw the cup anyway. So you know, that wouldn't happen. But would I accept it?
European football in the Championship. We play Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday then every week.
I mean, you know, to win a cup, obviously something that we've never seen in our lifetime. We have seen a couple of relegations, but I just feel like this time it could be really bad. But you know, I don't think it could happen anyway.
I do think we're going to get relegated, though, mate. I do. I think at the moment,
it's got that feeling. If we don't change, we're going down.
Yeah. Only thing that bothers me is not being able to see games. Yeah, I hate that when we was in the Championship. I'm not a Turkey person. At least we won't have VAR in the Championship next year. Exactly. We don't eat it any other day for a reason. Where are we? Ken Hammers says, some games at Upton Park, top tier was empty in the corners, wasn't always sold out. But I thought, yeah, mate, I remember it. Remember it well. To be honest, I don't like the London Stadium, even if I was West Ham, as its bigger version of Gateshead, you might see why that. Yeah, I agree.
That's a crap stadium, mate. There's a few people that like
beautiful building, crap stadium.
Well, that's not actually true. It's a phenomenal stadium. It's a fantastic stadium, but it's a crap football stadium.
Yeah, I think that's fair. True, Karen did kill off a lot of the old school. May have an impact. Brentford 0 points, Leeds 0 points. Then surely Moyes has to go. I think he'll go after Brentford game. I'll be honest with you. Look at Birmingham, won the Carling Cup and got relegated, and now look at Birmingham, 100%. We only win cups when we get relegated. Yeah. Right, let's have a quick chat on Brentford, mate. We've got a little bit of time. I've only been going. What are we going for? 35, 36 minutes. So it is Brentford on Friday night. They're a good side, mate. A manager that I said that I wouldn't mind West Ham going to get. He's just signed a new contract. I do think that is to put off teams going to try and get Frank. I think it costs you quite a few quid now to try and get him out of there. Do you like him, mate? Do you like him as a manager? How would you make of Brentford?
I do, yeah, I do. I do like him as a manager. I do. I think Brentford are a good team to watch. A far better team to watch than West Ham in a minute.
Yeah, they were good yesterday. Very good yesterday.
Yeah. I can't see anything positive for this game from us, to be honest with you. I can't. Like you say, Tony up front, who could run riot. You know, we were linked with him last year before last.
Should have got him, mate. Should have got him. Now, he's going to, like I say, in the summer, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up like somewhere like an Arsenal or a Tottenham or somewhere like that. I think he's that good, mate. I really do like him, depending on what happens with his betting thing. Really good player. He's got, like you say, mate, he's going to absolutely destroy us. He is. He's going to destroy us the weekend. I quite like Wissa as well, the winger. He's very, very good. Who's the other winger? Is it Mbeumo or something like that? Is that Mbeumo? He's good. Rico Emery's really good on the left-hand side as well. They're just a very well-run football club. They buy well, they sell well. Ben Roman's not got a bad record against them, though. He's always had a bit of a thing going against them. Can you see any way we can beat them? Can you?
Not really.
They did concede two goals. They did go 2-0 up and concede 2 goals. They do still concede.
That's true, but then you look at us and you think, who's going to score? Who's going to score for us?
I don't know how long Scamacca's out for. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how long he's out for.
I don't know either.
I think we could do with, to be honest with you, one things that may help and potentially save Moyes' job if he's still there in a couple of weeks' time. I do think a Gerd is going to be a massive difference. I really do. I see enough in the World Cup to see that he could be real quality. What about you?
Yeah, he does look very, very good. And you know, I understand that, you know, he's been out and, you know, he was a major signing. But it really annoys me when I see people saying, "Oh, wait till Aguero comes back, everything will be different. He's the key. He's the key to the way Moyes wants to play." Really?
Yeah, I don't
Moyes'
think it's key. I
entire
don't think it's
philosophy
key.
is built around a centre back.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, he does look like a very, very good player, and you know, I do 100% think we'll be better with him in the side. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's not going to help us win games, is it?
No. Because again, there's only so much a centre half can do, before the striker has to go and do something, or that attacking midfielder has to go and do something and score a goal. I can't see us getting anything out of this, mate. I really can't. It would not surprise me if it's another 3-1, mate. I can see us, if we concede early, the crowd will turn on Friday night. And I think we'll just capitulate again, mate. What about you?
Yeah, I can't see much, mate. Like you, if we score, it'll probably be a lucky goal. You know, I don't even think we'll score, to be honest. I could see a 2-0, 3-0. You know, I just don't. I don't expect much. I really don't. I don't expect anything. You know, we had this entire break, and you're hoping that we come back and we've been working on what we're going to do and how we're going to play and how we're going to transition to this new style of football. We look the same as we did before the break, which is poor. You know, so based on that, I just can't see.
The thing is, mate, there's no point in us usually we mess about a little bit and we go, oh, who's got to be in the lineup. There's no point even discussing it at the moment because we know exactly what it's going to be. We all know, me and you, mate, we want Areola in goal. Are we going to see it? No. Am I going to see Emerson maybe filling at left back? No. Am I going to see Souček out the team? No. Am I going to see this one or that one? No. So as soon as I see that lineup and it's exactly the same, I know what the result's going to be.
Yeah.
It's just, last few comments. Maybe Noble should be made our manager. One of our own who we adore would be interesting. Not for me. Not for me.
No.
Should ask Ivan Tony what the odds are. Imagine we signed Tony and Rico Henry from the Championship, and Ollie Watkins during that time as well, mate. You know, we've missed some big players. Tony should not be allowed to play. He's got 265 cases against him. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot. Where were you? 2nd of October, 1975. I was sperm. I wasn't alive.
Not even that, mate. 10 years before we were born, mate.
Yeah. They got pace all over the pitch. Yep, something we haven't got. Al Riches. I wasn't born. There you go. Saying you, mate. I thought Kent Hammer was like in his 60s or something like that. I thought he was one of the older guys that watched us. Come on, answer the question. Oh, you weren't born. Where are we? Amazing. He bought Mbamba on for only 4 minutes. I'm glad that he came on. It should have been something that was celebrated, but for 4 minutes it's stupid. What a virtuoso performance. Zuma and Agurd, both big misses to be fair, but it's up front where we lack. Paul Sullivan, why don't we play 4-4-2 then? So many comments. Thanks, guys. Moyes will not bring young players through. Our youth academy is a waste of time. Yep, looks like Ashby's going to be gone in the next couple of days. Skamaka and Mobama. Moyes ruined strikers. Look at Haller now. Skamaka. Antonio should be sub only at 32. I'll tell you what, I would take Arnie back right now. I would.
That's something. No, I wouldn't. That's something I saw yesterday. Someone said I don't know if this is actually true because I haven't checked, but someone said that we had 6 players in our starting lineup over 30.
Bloody hell!
So you got Fabianski,
Cresswell,
Antonio, Cresswell, Dawson,
Antonio.
I say Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been a bit of a stretch, but yeah,
At Upton Park, as Upton Park been mentioned, it's one of the stadiums I'm gutted about not visiting. Yeah, was a beautiful stadium, mate. Our church. So I'm just skipping through a few of these because some of you are having conversations with each other. Oh, well, I don't get this a lot at all. Are you noble in disguise, Luke? No, I get that all the time in work, though. Fabianski, Cresswell, Dawson, Antonio, and Soufal. I thought Soufal was 27. Is he really over 30? I did not know that. Yeah, guys, that's enough of the West Ham stuff. There's a new little section that me and Paul are going to do for the last sort of 5 minutes of each show. It's called GOAT, where we pick a topic, or you guys pick a topic, and me and Paul have a little discussion over the GOAT. And I think as it's this time of year, mate, we sort of had a little laugh and joke about it the other day, didn't we? Our GOAT for this week is, what is the GOAT Christmas song? There you go, mate. That's going to be our GOAT discussion this week. What is the GOAT Christmas song?
I don't know. Someone asked me the other day what my favourite Christmas song was. I don't know. I mean, obviously,
we love GOAT Christmas song and movie. Right, we're going to do both of them.
We love a bit of Last Christmas, bit of George.
Yeah, well, me and Paul, I'm a massive George Michael fan. I've seen him in concert twice. That for me is the GOAT. I love Last Christmas. That is my favourite Christmas song.
I do like. I like Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. Wizard. I like that one. What's the?
I quite like Elton John's one. Step Into Christmas. I quite like that. I think that's quite a good song.
Oh, Shaking Stevens. His one's pretty good. There's
yeah,
good ones. A few good ones. There ain't any real good modern Christmas songs, are there?
No, mate. There hasn't been. Where do you stand? Because I hate this song, the Mariah Carey one. Where do you stand with that?
Oh no, I like that. I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
I'll
tell you what I don't like. Just see Kent posted there.
No, I hate that song. I hate that song. That's my wife's favourite, though. That's my wife's favourite song.
Same, mate. Same. My wife is Irish.
Really?
Yeah. So she loves it, doesn't she? I know. I can't stand Fairy Tale New York.
And then the last one, mate, for the GOAT of the week this week is the movie, mate. Greatest Christmas movie. I don't know. I bet yours is the same as mine. Is Ghostbusters 2 a Christmas movie? Because they do celebrate New Year at the end of the episode. But
I don't know.
That's where it's weird, isn't it? Like, it's Christmas in that film, but they don't at no point in the film celebrate Christmas Day, but they do celebrate New Year.
Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting one. There's a lot of films like that. Is it a Christmas film? Obviously, Die Hard is the famous one people talk about. I watched Lethal Weapon the other day. That's set at Christmas as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're talking your classic.
Home Alone? Is Home Alone a Christmas movie? It is really, isn't it? They celebrate Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, definitely.
For me, that's that. If we're talking GOAT family movies, Home Alone is the greatest family movie ever.
It's a great film. We went to see that. It was back on in the cinema last week. We went to see that, and there were a few kids there watching it, and they got so excited watching Home Alone. Like seeing the kids get so excited is crazy.
It's timeless.
And that's what's that? 30 years old, that film?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, 91 or 90. Might be 90. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elf
Santa
Claus film. Has come to town as his song. Kent hates Christmas movies. Wow. Bad Santa is the only decent movie I've watched. Well, I've not mentioned it, and I think Paul's is the same as mine. But without doubt, and I have to watch it every single year, it still makes me emotional every time I watch it, and it is because I'm a massive Bill Murray fan. My favourite and the greatest Christmas movie for me is Scrooge, mate. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Love that film. There's so many like Christmas Carol films, and for me, that's the best one. It does it the best. My wife's favourite Christmas film is Muppets Christmas Carol.
I do love that as well. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I did watch that actually a couple of weeks ago. It's a great film. It's a great
but yeah,
film.
love Scrooged. Love that. Love Bill. Yeah.
It is because it's Bill. When I was a kid, I used to think it was Peter Venkman getting haunted by the ghosts, and he didn't have his proton pack. So that's what I used to think when I was a kid. But yeah, this is our new section of the show, guys. If you've got any ideas you've got any ideas for what we could do as GOAT, obviously this is just going to be a new thing. It's more because of the Lionel Messi thing a couple of weeks ago. It's like, okay, so what can we discuss as the next GOAT? I think next week we might do the greatest gangster film or something like that when we'll just go through, or
just because I want it on,
or something like that.
Just because I want it on record, mate. Is now?
No.
Is it now certain Lionel
No.
Messi is the greatest of all time?
No.
Why?
No, it's Maradona.
Why?
Because it is. And do you know what I heard? Right, shall I tell you what I agree with on this, right? Is Pep Guardiola, right? The man who's managed Lionel Messi. They asked him, and I like the way he summed it up, and I think it was the fairest way it's ever been done. He said, listen, Lionel Messi is one of the best players that's ever lived. He goes, but I do believe the GOAT conversation is a generational thing. He goes, if you ask me as a child who the greatest player is, he said, I would have said Di Stefano, the Real Madrid legend, 4 European trophies in a row. And he said, if you would have asked me when I was in my sort of 20s and 30s, I would have said Maradona. And he said, if you ask me now, if I was a kid, I would have said Messi. So I do think that is the fairest way to look at it. I think
it's difficult to compare generations. I'll agree with that. But if you look at Maradona and you look at Messi, in literally every single metric, Messi comes out on top. Goals scored. Things won.
But if Maradona played on Messi's pitches and played with Messi's Barcelona with Xavi and Iniesta behind him, what sort of numbers would he be hitting?
See, that's the thing, right? When he did play in Europe, Maradona, he did all right. But Messi
he bought a Napoli team that hadn't won anything for years, mate, and won them Serie A.
But I believe that year they'd spent the most. It was like their record spend, the amount of money they spent to actually win that league. It weren't as if he did it with farmers.
And I do not like Messi. Please do not think that, guys. It's just right. I'm not the Messi fanboy.
For me, I do think Messi is the greatest player of all time. 100%. I think he's the GOAT. I think winning the World Cup absolutely 100% cements it. He has won literally everything there is to win in football. He's won numerous Ballon d'Ors. The amount of goals he's scored is absolutely insane. And I think for me, the thing is Messi has been the best player. All right, Messi's been arguably the best player in the world for 15 years.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point, mate. It's a fair point. It is. But I will never say he's the best. I will never say he's the best.
I don't think you can touch him. I just don't. I've
always said it, and again, people will say, "Oh yeah, but his injuries and it's so hypothetical." I've always said that R9 is the best player I've ever seen. Whether he's the GOAT is a different story.
That's different.
But he's the best player I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different conversation. That's different. Ronaldo, obviously, injuries ruined him. And we spoke before about the likes of Ronaldinho,
who is the most skillful player I've ever seen.
Most skillful player I've ever seen. The things that he could do with a football, absolutely alien. Like the way that he can manipulate a football is insane. But no, for me, Messi is the GOAT, hands down. Hands down. I would have had the argument that the only player that was in the conversation with him was Maradona. But now with that World Cup, no, for me, that's it. There's no argument anymore.
There is. I think it is valid, and I always sort of go mer to Pele. But when you do actually put into perspective, he did play in the South American leagues. To actually win 3 World Cups, that is something. That is serious.
Oh, yeah.
That is something very special. Because I said that, didn't I? If Mbappe would have won it this year, he would have been well on to get those 3 World Cups in his career. That probably won't happen now. But yeah. So if you've got any ideas, guys, for GOAT of the week, let us know. Me and Paul discuss. It can be sport related. It can be anything. It might be the GOATest newspaper, the GOATest song, the GOATest artist, the GOATest whatever. It's just always fun for me and Paul to talk about. Had the pleasure of watching a young Alan Devonshire. For us, he was amazing. Yep, my dad's favourite player. Ronaldinho was the best to watch. Yeah, it was absolute joy to watch. Pure disgusting skills. And you know what it is as well, from that generation, mate, that Ronaldinho, it's all the Nike adverts and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, they were amazing, weren't they? Like,
it was fantastic. Great time, and some phenomenal players. Like my favourite player of all time is Alessandro Del Piero. I absolutely love Del Piero. He's my favourite player of all time. I think he's top 10 of all time, but obviously he's nowhere near the conversation for GOAT.
No,
But
again, he has got a World Cup winners winner medal, though, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's World Cup. I absolutely love him. I think he's not talked about enough. Obviously Zidane.
Yeah,
Zidane, absolutely incredible player.
Ridiculous.
You know.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 4K. We will be back, every week now. We've had our 5 weeks rest. And I do think news is going to come thick and fast over these next few days. I really do. If things go bad on Friday, I think there's going to be a lot of videos from a lot of West Ham channels this week. Until next time, guys, come on, you irons. As David Moyes says yesterday, keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.